The wind moves without purpose, without direction. Or maybe it carries whispers of thoughts too quiet for the world to hear. I've always wondered, are we just drifting, searching for meaning in the void, or do we create it ourselves? This is Windy Words of Parsa, a quiet space for those who think too much, feel too deeply, and find beauty in the unanswered. Here, we wander through poetry, philosophy, and fleeting moments not to find truth, but to embrace the questions themselves. So stay a while, let's lose ourselves, and maybe in the wind, we'll find something worth holding on to. Or maybe we'll just let it go. To begin with, we're gonna mention and discuss how social pressure is making us believe that being busy is important and is the reason why we grow and improve ourselves. You see, in the media and the people around us are all showing off too much and all make us believe that if we do more, if we tick more things off the list, we are better people. Actually, this is just what they say and not what they do themselves. I mean, like celebrities and stuff, but normal people are becoming victims of this paradigm they're actually advertising. Being busy means that we always have something to do, no matter if it's important or not. But if these are important things and single important, crucial tasks for our future or our destination, that's all right. But usually it's not only that. Mostly it's some responsibilities we have to do in order to make other people satisfied or in order to just help other people um, getting better things. Maybe some people that just need it, like our mother, like our fathers. And these things are also something that we are going to mention as being busy and busyness. We have busy calendars, and the no matter if we are mature or young, if we are a girl or a boy, in order even to attract the people of the other sex, we try to uh, show that we are so busy. And it honestly has good effects in order to do that. However, it's something awful, and we're going to say why today. Um, exactly like the metaphor I said earlier, right now, it's like running on a treadmill in a fog that you don't see where you are and why are you running? Why are you running? And um, you can't even know that you're on a treadmill. You don't feel that so easily because you are trying so hard, and in that extreme fog, you cannot even find out that you are running on a treadmill. Being busy convinces you that um, you are improving and it feels rewarding. You get a better sense about yourself, your own life, and your professional life. However, in long term, it's gonna steal clarity and it's gonna change your direction, and it distracts you simply. Some years ago, since I just started to, go to school, not just then, I didn't understand things that time, but when when I started to understand and I was going to school, I try to make myself so busy in order to compete with my peers and try to be the best guy from everyone in order to attract people's attention or whatever. Although I didn't care too much about this, but still, deep down of our hearts, we all need attention and, we all need the feeling of being the best. But now, what I realize is that being busy just stole my time, and I spent so much time on tasks that didn't actually matter. And I just lost those times, and now I am not happy about it. Simply, to be honest with you, busyness doesn't make you important. And in another episode, I mentioned that I found my way the best when I was totally not busy and I didn't have too much things to do. Um, it has a lot of downsides that we are gonna get to, but before that, I want to tell you something about my own life. After all those years of trying hard and being busy and staying busy, maintaining the growth I think was a growth, um, I got so tired. I had experienced more than 2 years actually of sadness and tiredness because of the life I had created for myself, because of all the hard work I've had put into making efforts. And exactly after those 2 years, somehow after those 2 years, I found my way because of all the free time I had, all the tiring of not having anything special to do. I started to reflect a lot, and I got into philosophy and a lot of other things. And I simply realized what I really want in life. Not exactly, of course, that's not so easy, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. And the worst thing that exists about being busy always is that you are just running away from your actual responsibilities. You're trying to make yourself so engaged to do things and to take things off your list and prove to yourself that you are improving in order to escape from confronting your actual responsibilities for the better future you want to create for yourself, or even for your family, or maybe the life that you want, in which you can impact on people, you can be a great historical figure one day, maybe even if you are not existing that time, for people who have big goals. You see, when some responsibility is so hard and you don't find a way for getting into it, you start to neglect it. And by neglecting that, you get frustration. So, in order to escape from that frustration feeling, you have to make um, for yourself a long list in order to do them and feel good again. After a while, you get used to it actually, and it becomes your identity. Then you'll get numb and you kind of don't get a real sense of what you really want and crave in your life. The trouble with the rush of daily life is that it never ends. It builds itself into towers and flattens the quiet field where we once could lie and see the sky without naming anything. But we are not machines. We are not made for only doing. We are also made for undoing, for the stillness that gathers behind the eyes. To mention in a more detailed way, we can simply contrast a little bit these two things, being busy and being productive. So, firstly, the busy people prioritize simply everything, the shallow things and responsibilities, all things. However, at the same time, the productive people prioritize what they actually need, spend enough time on the task that they're doing. This is where the second thing comes out. The busy people uh, put efforts in everything, no matter if they're shallow stuff or if they're important stuff. They just spend time on doing tasks. Of course, they prioritize a little bit, but the difference between them and the productive people is that the productive people put all their focus on a single task instead of multitasking. The busy try to multitask, get as much as they can. This is what separates you from the better version of yourself. What distinguishes the rich people, the successful, from the poor and the regular. Or busy people, of course, they're busy and we're referring to them as busy, but they say yes by default to other people. However, the productive people have goals, have more important things to do, and say no by default to other people or even to themselves. Our war is not with other people. We don't have a war, actually. This is just a matter of prioritization instead of making yourself drowning under all the responsibilities. Now we finally got into the part we can reflect on the emotional cost of busyness. Firstly, it hides your loneliness. I mentioned it earlier, and I know that when we don't find out the power, enough energy in order to understand ourselves, we try to make up things for ourselves and get ourselves busy. Our minds just tend to escape from hard things. It's for our survival. However, in the era that we're living in, it's important to cure what problems you have, and at least you have to understand and accept what you are. I was raised lonely and I don't have any sibling. I was escaping it, and I'm definitely knowing that. It's crystal clear for me. I hope you understand it in your life too. It might actually give us a better feeling. If we think that we're lonely, we are going to prove to ourselves that we are not having any problems and issues because of that. Okay, come see how many things I have done today, how much I'm improving. And we are just trying to prove to ourselves that we don't need anything or anyone, for example. And as I said earlier, it gives us distractions. It makes us do things that are not important so much so that after a long period of time, we forget what we were actually trying for. When I was younger, I had a lot of dreams about, being the person I want to be. And my dreams were pretty big, like yours too. And I lost them. Now that I'm thinking about them, I cannot remember what details I had about my future in my mind and what picture was I creating for myself back in that time. So I've actually fought with it, and I'm trying to find more ways to, improve myself and create another dream for myself, another very big dream for myself. I don't know how it worked, but it really made me forget. I was used to do what the society wanted in order to get things that are gonna help me, and I wasn't focusing on my future. So it's so easy to get distracted by this. So because of this, after that long period of time, you're gonna get numb. You don't feel your hope. You cannot remember your hope, what you were craving so much, and that brings you frustration, sadness, more loneliness, and more low energy. So then you again start right now to search for how being productive. It's okay that if you do not even remember what you are trying to be and what you are trying to achieve, just try right now, even if you cannot remember your hopes. Try to build new reasons for yourself in order to survive, in order to live, and in order to improve. A Harvard University research, which was actually on business, insisted that in a short part of it, insisted that people establish an identity of themselves by comparing themselves to the others in the society, maybe even on web or whatever place. And due to that, they start to get the feeling that they are deficient, and deficiency is the outcome of this comparing. So this is why not doing too much makes us feel bad, but you should be wise and see the difference between being just busy and being productive. If you feel less of yourself when you find yourself free and in your free times, I certainly suggest you that go and listen to the other episode we had, which was, I think, the second episode of Words of Parsa, in which we discussed the single fact that changes your view on the wasted time and on the time that you feel is wasted. All right, that's all from me now. The frame fades, but the feeling stays. I am Parsa, and if this spoke to your heart, stay close. What a person desires in life is a probably boiled egg. This isn't as easy as it seems. There must be gas and a stove. The gas requires pipelines, mastodon drills, tanks that spans the lozenge of capital. There must be a pot, product of mines and furnaces and factories. And so we boil the egg and imagine that once it's done, we will finally eat in peace. But peace is not in the egg. Peace is in the not searching.